Alright, hi, this is Xanthus. I just wanted to hop on and do a little stream and make a video about this game type I made in, well, actually I made it in Warsaw, so kind of long story. Warsaw is like a arena FPS, free open source. It's been around for a really long time, has had a bunch of updates over the years, and I want to say in recent years, maybe like 4 or so years ago, there was a branch of it that's now on Steam called Warfork. So I actually made this game type for it a long time ago for a few reasons. One, because this game is so niche and it's the arena FPS style. Basically, there's a high skill ceiling, a low like number of players. So it's kind of hard to find people around your skill level, and new people coming into the game would kind of just get stomped by the veterans. But I wanted to work and build a game mode where you could either play by yourself or play cooperatively. That's that game mode I'm going to show off. And actually updated this recently just to get it working with the like modern versions of the game. So with that, I'll go ahead and hop in here, and I call it Arcade Co-op. And yeah, I just kind of want to make a video and kind of talk through some of the game design decisions to make this into something that I still think is like fun to this day. And like over the years, I would just randomly like hop in and be able to just like jump around and shoot enemies. But this game itself is just a really fun like engine. It's kind of like Quake 3 CPMA with the wall jump is like the really like one-liner version of how to describe this game. So you can do some really cool movement, and it's really fun to move around in once you get the hang of all the mechanics. I'm still in warm-up mode right now, so I haven't actually started. Yeah, I'll go ahead and start it. So long story short, you fight through waves of enemies. Periodically there will be these points that spawn called portals that you have to get to and close. And if you don't get to them in time, they'll basically make you lose the round. So when I was first starting to design this like cooperative game mode, I started with like making these like simple enemies that would like fly around. I started with the bats. Because they would be like the easiest to do any sort of like basic AI, and wouldn't have to do any pathfinding. They just kind of fly around randomly, and then when they see the player, they'll run towards the player. They don't even really detect if they hit walls. They're kind of like really dumb, really simple. Those are the bats, and they'll basically keep chasing you until they get to the point where they last saw you. So they can kind of chase you around corners, because they'll keep going until they reach the last spot that they saw you. So they actually do usually a pretty decent job of like following you around corners. Then you'll notice there's these little spiders that jump around. And you might have noticed they can jump really high. And that's just because I wanted the enemies to be able to reach the player and be a threat to the player. Especially without any sort of advanced pathfinding. Yeah, I just wanted them to be able to be a threat. So if they see you, they can basically jump up to your height from anywhere. You'll see some of these other enemies. I'll get to them in a second, but I'll see if I could get a spider to jump up, just to kind of show what I'm talking about. Maybe not. Oh, there's one. See, if I like jump all the way up here, they'll try to jump up to my height to be able to like jump up on a platform. And then the next enemy, I wanted something that could actually attack at a range, and so it has slightly different behavior, where it will jump away from you once it sees you. So that'll lead to some weird interactions where they'll like see you and then jump away and then not be able to shoot you. But if I run into another one, I'll kind of show what happens. Like, they'll see you out in the open, they'll jump back, and then aim at you for a second before shooting this like hit scan weapon. And so kind of what that does is allows like these enemies to be threats, but threats that you can mitigate by like hiding around corners and trying to approach them from a closer range rather than like running at them across the map. Oh, and then next I have these kind of just like normal enemies. There's actually an enemy model in the base Warsaw game that was like kind of a pig, so I kind of made a simple little pig shooter enemy, kind of simulate that a little bit. Alright, so I'm getting to these points. The reason I created the points is because I wanted there to be a reason for the player to constantly move around. Like, that's most of the fun of the game, is moving around. But if you're just killing enemies, I mean, you could theoretically stay in one point and just do that until you kill all the enemies, and that'd be kind of boring. It wouldn't really be a challenge because you can kind of cheese all the enemies by like shooting around a corner and hiding, especially with rockets. So having to go to these points really forces you to interact with enemies in ways that maybe you wouldn't want to, or, you know, having to move around them and mitigate those kind of threats. So for example, right now the point's down there, which is going to put me in this like little chokehold. So I can try to maybe like clear some enemies out first, or accidentally fall down and just get into everything. But if you use movement to your advantage, you can kind of get in, get out. But it kind of keeps you in this sort of like fun zone of constantly moving, needing to use movement tricks to get around to where you need to go, and continuing to dodge enemies. I also did a bunch of things for this mod, so one of the things I picked up a second ago was the like legendary version of the rocket launcher. So when you have it, the weapon glows white, and it popped up a text message that tells you kind of what this does. And each weapon has like a different effect if you get the legendary version of it. The rocket will allow you to rocket jump without taking any damage. So you can kind of use that to move around if you pick it up. There's also an in-game shop that I created, which will, which has been popping up whenever at the end of each round. You can also pull it up whenever you want. So you can actually buy any weapon you want for gold, which you get by doing damage just over time. Right now, 15 gold. There's an armor shop if you want to buy some more armor. There's a legendary weapon shop, so you can buy like the legendary version of the weapon. One will drop eventually in the game, and you can pick it up. But if you wanted to buy one, you could do that. I also added abilities and upgrades, so I kind of went all out on this game mode and just added a bunch of interesting stuff to it to play around with. So if I look at the ability shop, you can actually have two abilities. I'm gonna get double jump. So now if I press this other button, I'll do like a double jump in midair. So that just gives you some more movement to play around with. Makes it really easy to navigate this top area. We have a new enemy here. This is, I guess, like Shield Face. And he's interesting because if you shoot him with a projectile, he'll still take damage, but he'll also reflect it back to you. So it kind of makes him a little dangerous to fight against. But if you use something that doesn't, like travel, like a hit skin weapon, that doesn't get reflected. So there's kind of this like soft counter to him, but it's not like you have to use one specific weapon against him. I mean, you could still kill him with any weapon. It just makes it more challenging if you use a projectile. This game mode doesn't have a ton of enemies, but it I definitely wanted it to have like a good spread of like different types of threats. So you'll have like these dumb enemies that kind of just charge at you. You have the bat that can fly around and go above you and everything. You'll have those pig enemies that can actually shoot you. And then you have this like, yeah, this tanky shield enemy that you Kind of have to be careful what you use against it. Oh, and also the pigs can rocket jump. I think there's only one more enemy that I haven't shown off yet, which should be the next wave, if I'm not mistaken. There are a bunch of enemies down here. So yeah, because they're dumb and there's no real pathfinding for them to like move around the level gracefully, they'll sometimes get stuck in like little corners and stuff. But ultimately, just because of how the game mode works, it really doesn't affect the game mode too much because you're always having to move to the points.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
And more enemies will spawn. I think if they don't see a player for like a minute, they respawn at another spawn point. Oh, there's the last enemy, which I think I just call like the wizard. And when you shoot him, he like teleports you up in the air on each hit. So if I shoot a rocket at him, he'll like stop me in my tracks and launch me up in the air. And I did that to basically have an enemy that would interrupt the player's movement, but do so in a way that the player controls, so that it's not like frustrating or unexpected. Especially with how this mod actually works. This mod runs on the server completely. So if something on the server triggers a change in your movement, it actually would kind of like lag behind. So for example, if I had a really high ping and like I was running through here and an enemy like hit me with something that affected my movement, it would like teleport me backwards and be really jittery. But if it's something that the player expects, like when you deal damage to it, then you can kind of like account for it. And it's also something you can use to your advantage, which is kind of like a neat side effect. So I can actually use him to fly up here to this location. So there's also like a utility for the player if they use it correctly. But you definitely have to choose when you want to fight it, because if you're trying to get to a point, it could, yeah, kind of stop you in your tracks getting to that point. But yeah, that's yeah, pretty much it for the game mode. Let's see if I can get an upgrade here. I'll do faster dash while I'm getting shot. And what I might try to do for fun, I don't know what wave I'm on, but I'll crank up the difficulty settings. Yeah, for a newer player, this difficulty would still be kind of hard, but you could make it even easier. But if you're, you know, good at moving around in Quake, if you kind of know what you're doing, or if you played this game for, you know, 10,000 hours like I did when I was younger, to really get a challenge out of this, you'd have to crank a couple things up. So you got 2 more enemies. Go ahead and kill them, then I'll up the difficulty. So there is the difficulty setting, which will just basically scale the enemy damage by 150%. And then I also have one that will make the portal spawn and have a low timer. So you really have to move with this. Well, except for that when it spawns right next to you. So yeah, now I only have 12 seconds to get to the point before the game's over. Or the round ends. This will make it just a lot more hectic, a lot more challenging. And I almost forgot about the point. I might be too slow. Spider blocked me. Yeah, you have to like constantly pay attention and constantly keep your mind on the goal. Otherwise, you very quickly lose.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, fight!
Okay, go to chest. Finally get some armor. Got the legendary Electro Bolt, so this will actually give you ammo back whenever you kill an enemy. Just super handy. I don't think I can actually make this. Oh, I messed up my jump.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, fight!
I currently have a server backup for this for Warfork, but I ran a server for this back in the day for I want to say a couple of years, and it was really like rewarding to just like randomly come in and see like the server full of like new players. Like I say full, it's like, you know, 3 to 4 people, sometimes like 6 or 7. It's still awesome to like see some newer players hanging around the game and like learning how to move around in it and learning weapons and stuff when they otherwise like may have not stuck around just due to this game mode. Alright, got this good weapon which will actually stun enemies, which is a little OP, but oh no, I'm gonna lose it. Okay, no, not yet. Oh, I thought I could get up there with the double jump. Probably could. I think I just like did the wrong order of operations there. That's close.
Ready? 3.
Wanted to see if I could get a double jump off this ledge.
1, fight!
Alright, now I'm gonna actually hopefully just try to win this real quick. Okay, quad damage and shield, so I should be able to get a bunch of stuff. Final wave.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, fight!
I was gonna try to like fly off the top of his head. Oh no, lost. Can you technically win the round without killing anything? Yeah. Because yeah, technically capturing a point brings the like
Ready? 3,
I guess like enemy counter down by 1.
Fight!
So you could technically like try to just like run through the points without dying, but that would definitely be difficult to do. Oh, and actually, if the enemy's on the point, it doesn't capture. So sometimes it might be tricky to try to do that. I've actually never tried that. It's definitely a strategy. It would take a long time. Let's see. I think of what upgrades would be best for that. I feel like fast dash is the good ability to have, or upgrade to have. I feel like for a second ability, maybe shield. So I could like, if I had to run through enemies, I could armor through it. I think it might also depend on getting like kind of lucky with the portal spawns, because they stay at top here. It seems like right now it's kind of clear for the most part, but again they will respawn if they don't get a sight of me for a long time. I was gonna try to buy regen. Nope, dead. So yeah, I think it's technically possible, but I think it'd be really difficult, or you have to be lucky to pull it off.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, fight!
It was kind of a fun upgrade to program. Just makes a bunch of explosions. Oh, and I lost the round.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, fight!
Yeah, I think with the default settings, the pacifist run might not be too bad, but yeah, I would say go for it if you want to try it.
1, fight!
Although actually, now that I think about it, I don't think you would get gold. I forget if you get gold for capturing the points at all or not. I feel like it's just based on damage. I don't even think you would get like upgrades to help you out. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way I was gonna survive. Alright, I have a bunch of gold. Let me refund everything. Get some good weapons.
Ready?
Maybe get legendary riot gun.
2, 1, fight!
Armor. Fast dash. And let's push. Oh, that's right, I didn't get double jump. Oh my gosh, that explosive push pushed him so far. Oh, there's an enemy on the point. Okay, I barely got it. Thought I got it. Maybe I didn't get it. Alright, gotta buy everything again. I still have the upgrades and abilities. I just need to rebuy some weapons.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, fight!
And armor. And legendary. Oh, I need machine gun. There we go. Oh no, the spider blocked me from capping. Dang. Yeah, there's only 6 waves, but you can actually, I mean, if you wanted to, basically the mission configs are editable. So that you can actually have like different mission types that do like different number of enemies for each wave.
1, fight!
So I mean, you could have it as many waves as you wanted in a config file, but yeah, the default one that it comes with is only 6. Of explosive push. Double jump. Okay. Alright, so now I have explosive push and a double jump. Oh, I thought I could get it. Explosive push will be useful if I need to clear a point. And that 150% damage actually hurts a lot, especially with the plasma gun. Yeah, I'm not gonna make it. Okay, I'm gonna try to actually focus on winning this one.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, fight!
Alright, as soon as the portal spawns, I need to start prepping. Alright, it's right there, that'll be easy to get to. Gonna see if I get some extra kills while this portal was still up, but I don't see anything. I get to the point. Gotta be more careful with doing trick jumps with the quad damage. Alright, only 5 more.
Game over.
And there we go. Yeah, that's a arcade co-op. How do you actually play this? So basically this is in Warfork. So if you look at Warfork, it's on Steam. Download that, and then I actually have a server up for it that you can find, and it would download the custom game type. So if I hop into like play server browser, hopefully there's no servers with offensive names, but I have Xanthus Arcade Co-op. And if you join the server, it'll like download this. I also think I have a link to it online somewhere that I just posted, but this is probably like the easiest, quickest way to get it. Although I guess since I'm uploading this to YouTube, I'll say it's if you join the Warfork Discord, I also have links to it there if you join the Discord in the Game Types channel.